Let's Player.
Okay, for this project, you're going to make your profile picture. That's this blue box right here. That's your profile picture. Some of you might have already uploaded something, but to get credit for this assignment, I have a couple requirements. You either have to make a logo, and it can be as simple as the one I'm going to show you, or you have to, you have to make a logo. It can be as simple as the one I'm going to show you, or you can make something more complicated. But you have to create the logo. You can't just copy and paste it for this assignment. All right, so I'm going to walk you through a real simple logo. It's going to be super simple. Again, if you want to make one more complicated, you can use Adobe Illustrator, or you can mess around more with Photoshop. But I'll just walk you through the bare minimum requirement, and you can set up your profile picture. So the first thing we need to do is we need to be in Photoshop, and you need to start a new Photoshop file. So click on File, New, and then you have to set the pixels, set the size of your photo. So make sure the width and height are set to pixels, not inches, otherwise this will be ginormous. We want it 800 pixels by 800 pixels. That's the full quality YouTube profile picture size and Google Plus profile picture size. So 800 by 800, click OK. It will be a perfect square. And now we're ready to start editing. My channel is called Cool Kids Cinema. So I'm just going to make a simple logo with my text tool, which is the T on the left on the tools. You click on T, or you push T on your keyboard. That's the shortcut to select the text tool. And you get this little text icon. And anywhere you click, you'll be able to start typing. I'm going to type C in caps, KC for Cool Kids Cinema. Now I switch to my arrow tool on the top left on my tools over here. My arrow tool. Now I'm going to change the size of this. I do this by transforming it. That's Command T, the shortcut to transform. And you'll notice that it put these little squares on the outsides of my text. If I click on one of the squares, these are called handlebars, or at least that's what I call them. And I click and drag, I can resize my text. But I'm going to hold Shift while I do this so that it keeps it proportionate. Okay? And I'm going to make mine fill most of the screen. Once I have it the size I want it, I hit Enter. And I'm done changing the size of that. You can also move these around with the arrow tool by clicking on the arrow tool and then just clicking and dragging whatever the object is you want to move. In my case, it's my text that says CKC. But if you want to move it really precisely, you can also use your up and down arrows and move it just a little bit at a time, or left and right. You can move it around that way. I'm going to put mine pretty much in the center for now. Okay. Now I'm not a fan of this font, so I'm going to change the font. I do this by making sure I'm on the layer over here in the layers window. Make sure you're on the layer you want to edit. Change to your text tool. Push T on your keyboard to get the text tool, or click on the T over in the tools on the left side. And then I have to select, click and drag to select my, just like I'm editing fonts in Microsoft Word or Excel, I have to select my font. Up here at the top you see a blue square on mine. That's where you change the color. Over here on the left top, you'll see American Typewriter. That's currently the font. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to find a cooler font. You can also search the internet and download cool fonts and install them on your computer if you want something more awesome than what you see here. You talking to me?
Yeah, like D8andfont.com.
Oh, the font?
Yeah, the rep teacher showed me that a
Yeah, DaFont's a good website. DaFont.com, that's a good website to find cool fonts. For the sake of time, I'm just going to use one that's already on here. I've downloaded some cool fonts too. I can't remember the names of them though. I'm going to go with this one, Super Clarendon. Some fonts are different sizes, so you may need to resize your text, like mine's too big now. So Command T to transform, hold Shift while I click and drag one of the corners, and I can resize this so it fits inside of my square. Okay. So CKC stands for Cool Kids Cinema. Since it's just my profile picture, that's all I'm going to have. You don't want your profile picture to have too many words because you can't read it because it's so small. And then I'm going to find some kind of background. I don't know what I want yet. Let's go see. I'm going to go, I think I want bricks behind mine, so I'm going to look for bricks. Bricks background. This one's kind of cool.
Very small.
Yeah, it's 450 by 298. That's going to be too small. I want it to be closer to 800 by 800.
There we go.
Yeah, that one's kind of ugly though. Why can't the cool ones be big enough? Just a reminder, if you hover over them, these numbers that you see, that tells you the size of it. Like this one's 2560 by 1600. That's like, would fill your whole screen. So it's plenty big for what I need. I'm going to go ahead and use this one by right clicking on it. Copy image. Command Tab to flip back over to my Photoshop. And then I'm going to paste, Command V. And it went on top of my logo, so I need to, in the layers, I need to drag it below the logo so I can still see the logo. And then on my bricks, I think I want to make them a little bit smaller. Command T to transform. Hover over one of the corners and hold Shift and drag, and I'll shrink it. Get it whatever size you want. And I'll go ahead and hit Enter. And there's my background. Now, I want my background to not stand out quite as much. So I'm going to change the opacity and make it not as opaque. I'll try 70, see what that looks like. Okay. That looks pretty good. I'm going to see what it would look like if it was kind of on a black background though instead of a white. Since I made it opaque on a white background, it's kind of bright. So I choose my background layer and I select over here my paint bucket tool. It's kind of in the middle of your tools. And if you don't see the paint bucket, you might see the gradient tool, which is this square thing. If you right click it, you can change it from gradient tool to paint bucket or 3D material drop tool. We want the paint bucket. And as long as we're selected the background layer, whatever color we have selected here, in this case it's red, when I click on that, it's going to change it to red, the background layer. That might work, but I'm going to try black. So I click on this square, change my color to black, make sure I've got my paint bucket tool selected, and click on the background, and it changes it to black. And that's the color I'm going to go with. Go back to my layer, and play with my opacity a little more. See what looks good. I think right around 70 is where I want it. I'll go 72. Alright, now that I've got that background in there, I've decided that this color of font does not look cool. So I'm going to change the font color. Make sure I select my font layer over on layers, the text layer, the big T. Choose my text tool by pushing T on my keyboard or clicking the T on the toolbox over here. And select all of my font. Up here at the top, this blue square, that's where I change the color. I'm going to try like a gray. Let's see what a gray does to it. That, you don't like it? Now that I've got that color, I'm going to make it stand out a little bit more by adding some style to it. So over here on the layer menu, there's a couple ways to add style. I'm trying to remember them, to be honest.
FX.
Window, styles. And that opens this little window right here, and there's all these different ones. I almost never use any of them except for the drop shadow, okay, which is this one right here. I added that drop shadow. Do you see what it did? It added a little shadow around the bottom edges of my letters. And over here on my layer, I can double click the drop shadow and I can tweak that. I can make it larger by changing the size of the drop shadow. I can change the spread of it, which makes it thicker like that, which I don't want. The distance is how far away from the text is it. Like if I do this, it's as if a light's higher up above, shining onto there, and I kind of like that for this background. So that's what I'm going to do. I make my drop shadow look as if there's a light up above the letters and it's shining down on it. And then you can just play around with that. There's other effects like emboss, bevel, stroke. Stroke puts a different color line around. It outlines all your letters basically. So you can play around with those to make your font how you want it. Click OK when you're done. All right, I'm going to go with that. That's going to be my profile picture right there. So now I save it. File, save it as. We want to save a Photoshop file, which is PSD, Photoshop document, and name it profile picture. Save this in your videos folder. Under documents, your name, then videos, save it in there. Click save. We're saving it as a Photoshop document so that we can re-edit it if we need to. We can open it up in Photoshop and make changes if we decide to make changes later on. But to upload it to YouTube, we need to save it as a JPEG or a PNG. So file, save as. You can leave it the same name it already is, but right here under format, you need to change it to JPEG. Save it under videos and click save. Right here, this little arrow, you can click and drag and change the quality. Drag it all the way to 12. Make it full quality. Click OK. Now I'm ready to upload this to my YouTube channel. So I come back to my YouTube channel and I just click on the little pencil. That means edit. I hover over my profile picture area, which is this blue square right here. And I click the edit button. The pencil. And it's going to tell me that to edit my icon, I have to do it in Google+. That's fine. I click edit, the blue button. This takes me to my Google+ page. And I select the photo from my computer. Click on select the photo from my computer. That will open up the browser. And I navigate to documents, your name, assuming you saved it where I did, videos. If not, you find where you saved it. And I find my profile pic.jpg. That's another one I made the other day. I like this one better. We'll go with this one. And I open it. Now this is the cropping tool. You can crop some of it out. Since I already made mine the right size, I want to see the whole image. So I make sure I click and drag so that it has the whole image selected. And then down here, bottom left, there's a button that says Set as Profile Photo. Click it. Sure, I'll share it. Why not?
Send to me.
Okay. Now on Google Plus, since we already made that photo, that banner that we used for our YouTube channel, if you haven't already, you might as well change your Google Plus page to have that same banner. Keeps your Google Plus page consistent with your YouTube channel. So while I'm here on Google Plus, I'll just click Change Cover, and I'll upload a file. Click Upload at the top, select the photo from your computer, and I'll go find my banner that I made, which is my coolkids.jpg. Select it, it's going to upload. Again, I already made this the proper sizes, so I don't want to crop anything out. So I'm going to click and drag on these handlebars and make sure I select my entire image. And then I click the blue Select Cover Photo right here. And now you see a lot more on the Google Plus page than you do on YouTube. But there's my my cover photo, or my banner, and my profile pic on Google Plus. Now let's go back to YouTube and click refresh. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for the profile picture to show up, but hopefully we'll see it right away. Nope, it's still not there. I don't know why it does that, but it'll be there eventually. And so eventually if you uploaded it right, you'll now see the profile picture you made right here in this blue square. Also top right up here where you get to your Creator Studio and whatnot, you should also see your profile picture there. Let me show you one of my other channels where I have one that's already uploaded, and you can see it. It's just a picture of myself, but it's there. Right here in the top left. I haven't done channel art yet, but you'll see it there. Let's go back to my Cool Kid Cinema and see if it showed up yet. Click on my channel. Nope, it's still not there. I don't know why it takes time, but it'll be there. Alright, that's it. That's how you make your profile picture. Upload that when you're done to your YouTube channel, and then make sure you're on your channel, copy the link, and under the assignment called YouTube profile picture, copy and paste this link to your channel. That's how I'll grade it.